one of our favorite guests throughout the year, and he's entering his 13th season in the National Football League. The quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons and one-time MVP of this great league of ours, Matt Ryan, back here on the show. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing great, Rich. Thanks for having me on, man.
Always appreciate you coming on. This is just a weird world that we're living in right now. What has it been like for you getting ready for this season? No preseason games, protocols left, right, up and down, young kids at home. Matt, what has this been like for you?
You know what? It's been different for sure. I mean, I think everybody would say that the last 6 months have been a whirlwind, and definitely have taken some adjusting to. I think camp, going in without preseason games, for sure is the biggest change. I mean, it's been, this is year 13 for me, so it's been 13 plus years since I've gone into a season without knocking some of the rust off with these preseason games. So that part has been difficult. I got to give the NFL credit. I got to give our organization credit, though. They've done a really good job of taking care of the players, making sure everybody's safe, and trying to do the best they can given the circumstances. So I'm excited we've made it to this point. We're about a week and a half out, and everything is looking like it goes. So I'm excited about that.
Me too, Matt. Obviously nobody has the answers. Nobody. You can only figure out what's best and try and get through it. But here you are. You and the Falcons are getting set for your opener in just a couple of Sundays from now against Seattle, and this looks like it's going to happen. What do you think? I'll ask you the question I'm asking veterans and young players alike when they've been kind enough to call into this show. The chances. Do you like the chances of getting through 17 weeks with no delays? And obviously nobody has the answer, but based on everything that you know and the conversations that you've had with your teammates and your teammates have had with you, or you might have had with other players around the league about being safe when you're not at work, do you think you're going to get through 17 weeks uninterrupted this season?
I certainly hope so. I think it's been a positive that, I guess I've been testing every day since July 23rd. Mm-hmm. And, our numbers have stayed low. And so I think that part of it is, definitely, one that would, lead you to be optimistic. I think as we begin to travel and there's, different games, obviously there's external factors that are there that currently aren't there. But I am optimistic. I guess, by nature I'm that way, but I think guys have, are making the sacrifice to be as safe as possible when you're outside the building and being as responsible as they can be. So from what I've seen so far, I really have no reason to not be optimistic unless, things change. And we don't know if that's going to be the case, but right now, as I sit here, I feel really good about it.
Matt Ryan here on the Rich Eisen Show. How has Todd Gurley looked up close and personal to you?
It's been impressive. I got to spend some time with him in the offseason. We put a little work in on the field, and I was blown away by how professional he is, how smart he is, his ability to recall information, really quickly. But the most impressed I've been was we had a scrimmage at Mercedes-Benz Stadium last week, and it was the first time kind of the lights went on, and it was, kind of a little bit more of an atmosphere. He's got a gear that he can kick into that was impressive to see, and not all guys have that. Some guys have the ability to just take it to another level when the lights come on and it's time to go live, and he certainly did that last week, which impressed me, and I'm excited about it. I think he's going to be a really good fit for what we do offensively, and a nice piece to us scoring points.
Now, obviously, we all know what Todd Gurley can do, and 2 years ago, for me to follow up by asking, well, what can he do in your offense? Like, how does he fit in your offense? It would have been a silly question 2 years ago, right? But sure. I can't get an answer. Couldn't get an answer from anyone from the Rams or anybody about why we sometimes saw him on a stationary bike, or why the 25 touch guy showed up every other 3 weeks. He looks healthy to you? He looks like Todd Gurley to you, Matt?
Yeah, he does. I can't speak for any of the stuff that, was going on before here. I can speak for, the last probably 3 months that I've been able to kind of get to see him on the field. And he has looked like he has progressed and continued to get better the entire way. And he's looked great during training camp. He really has. So he looks healthy to me. He's looked, really good running the football for us, catching the football for us in practice. And, I'm excited about what he can bring because, like you said, I mean, his production, throughout his career has been, incredible. And so if we can keep him healthy and keep him feeling good, I don't see any reason he can't be as explosive as he's ever been.
Matt Ryan here on the Rich Eisen Show. Is this the toughest of NFC South you've seen in your baker's dozen years now in it?
Well, it didn't get any easier this offseason.
Well, I mean, what better? I'm just trying to find an inventful way of saying, hey, Tom Brady's in your division, huh? Like, I can't just
yeah.
That's basically what I tried, Matt. I just tried it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. There's no question about it. I'm going into year 13, and I'm one of the young guys in the division, right?
That's
just kind of hit my prime.
It's like Cocoon. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, these are two guys I was watching, in high school and college. So
that's right.
It's kind of funny that it's shaking out that way, but it's going to be tough. There's no question about it. But I feel good. I feel good about our team. I think. We're probably flying under the radar a little bit, and that's okay. I feel like, we played some good football in the second half of the season. We had, some good wins on the road, which is great experience for some of the young guys in our organization. And I'm hoping that, translates into a fast start and a successful season for us.
Did you just play the nobody believes in us card a little bit, very quietly?
No.
Did you just play that card in that conversation?
I wasn't saying nobody believes in us. I'm just saying we probably haven't been getting as much attention as some of the other teams in the division. That's all.
Well, I guess, okay. I guess I might have twisted a little bit right there. But
they're your words, not mine.
That's true. Okay. What you mentioned Brady, obviously, and the way you guys started last year, that might be why people are not looking at you more. But the way you guys finished last year, I mean, that was pretty damn impressive. How does that work from one season to another? Because that was significant with your coach's job flat out on the line. And the teams that you beat at the end, including the ultimate NFC champion and damn near almost Super Bowl champion. I mean, how does that work from one year to the next, Matt?
Yeah, I think. Last year was as strange a season as I've been a part of. To have the first half of the season go the way it did, and then the second half of the season to play as well as we did. I've never really been a part of something like that, and so that part was unique. I think we were playing some young guys. Like on our offensive line, we had guys like Caleb McGarry and Chris Lindstrom, playing a bunch for us in the second half of the season. Chris got hurt in the first game and then didn't play until the last 4 games of the year. And I think for young guys, it's important to learn how to win in this league, to learn how to go on the road, to learn what it takes, how disciplined you have to be, how well you have to execute. I think those are the things that carry over. The experience of what it takes in order to be successful. I'm not sure necessarily the momentum, right? That doesn't carry over, but the lessons learned do. And that's what, I'm hoping, I mentioned those two guys, but we have young players across the board at wide receiver for us, Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage, who played a big part of our second half of the season. All of those guys were, it was a learning experience for them, and it should be a confidence booster that their routine and their schedule and their mindset was right the second half of the season, and to continue to do that as we move forward.
And in terms of just the way that you finish up this year, I don't know if this was COVID related, to make sure that if there was anything that needed to be pushed back, at least the end of the season would be played. You do face the Saints and the Bucs. Both times you face them all after your bye. Week 11 and 13 is the Saints, and then week 15 and 17 is Tampa, with the Chiefs in between. I guess you're going to have to bring last year's finish to this year, too, with the Chargers and Raiders in the mix. Matt?
Yeah, no question. The second half of the season is loaded. So
serious.
And the first half is, too. So it's the good part of division games late is it gives you a chance to do what you need to do in division at that time of the year, and hopefully the good teams I've been on have been the ones that get better as the year goes and start peaking at the right time late in the year. And hopefully that's the case for us because we're going to need it. We're playing good football teams at that part of the schedule.
Let's have a little fun with Matt Ryan before we send him on into his Atlanta day. Chris, ask him the poll question right here on the Rich Eisen Show. It's Keanu Reeves' birthday, so Chris Brockman came
Matt,
out with this one.
what's the best Keanu Reeves movie, okay? Here's what we got. Point Break, Speed, John Wick, or The Matrix?
I think The Matrix. What is the poll result saying?
Yeah,
Point Break's pretty good too.
Okay,
so we're almost at 6,000 votes. The Matrix is at 33.7. John Wick's at 33.5.
Wow,
Neck and neck.
All right, I'm in the majority then. That's good.
I got to admit to you, I've never seen Point Break. Matt.
Oh, old school. That's worth an after. I mean, with COVID this last 6 months, what have you been doing?
I've been doing this show, but I guess what have you seen in the in your quarantine? What have you been doing? What have you seen?
Oh my gosh! I mean, we've kind of crushed Netflix. It was tough. I'm a big sports fan.
Okay.
And so and my wife is as well. And so our typical TV watching is sports. And so when everything shut down, it was like, oh man, what do we do? And so we definitely crushed a lot of Netflix.
Okay.
Which was good. I'm watching this series Dead to Me right now.
Okay.
Which I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but it's twisted.
It is that
kind of dark and funny. So that's pretty good right now. But we've kind of just been hammering out all kinds of Netflix.
So what's your favorite sports movie, Matt?
Oh man, I've kind of gone down a rabbit hole a couple times watching some of your YouTube stuff when you have the actors on and you're going through, some of their all of the talk about A Few Good Men.
Sure.
I've been down that rabbit hole with you talking about the other actors quite a bit.
Excellent.
Favorite sports movie? Oh, man.
I've got a suggestion for you, Matt. Did you ever see this?
It's got to be The Natural, right? I think you're going that way. Robert Redford is a pretty good one.
He's so great in it.
It is good. We had that on VHS when I was a kid growing up. I used to watch it all the time.
So you relate?
I can relate to it. You teed that one up perfect.
Rich, you got to move on.
That was the last time, Mike.
I know, but
and you cut out. Him telling me that I love you, but you got to move on. You cut that part out.
Do you remember that, Chris? I don't remember that part.
I don't remember that part either.
I was so sneaking in the back door, and you saw it coming. That's why you got your head on a swivel professionally. So that's why you are who you are, man.
Well, maybe year 13 is the year it gets going.
Matt, I really tried, Matt. I tried to get him to lay off and do it straight.
Yep.
I have done it straight. I told her it's a great sports movie. What's wrong with the Natural?
He is relentless. I got to give it to him. It's a good quality to have, too. You are relentless.
Matt, thanks for the call. As always appreciate our time together.
You're the best, guys. Take care.
Right back at you. That's Matt Ryan. Smart enough to go down a Rich Eisen Show YouTube wormhole as well.